All right, good evening, everybody. It's time for Raiderland Rewind. We'll let folks get in, and we will recap Texas Tech's 27-14 loss at BYU. First trip up to Provo for the Red Raiders. Second time they've ever met BYU, and it did not go well for Texas Tech. We'll recap it all. We'll get your thoughts, find out what you're thinking tonight, what you saw, what you liked, what you didn't like, anything and everything in between here on the Rewind as we visit with you tonight from the Arctic Air Studios, brought to you, of course, by Thacker Jewelry. All great love stories. Hey, they begin at Thacker's. Maybe Texas Tech needs a little bit of a love story. Maybe they need to get a hold of Joe Thacker and see what happens. So you guys know what to do. The early arrivals, you let us know the audio is good, the video is good. Give us thumbs up, hearts, whatever it may be. Then after that, you can share it with your friends and tell them, hey, we're rocking and rolling, whether it's on YouTube or on Twitter X or on Facebook Live. As Craig is in, Chris is in, and D. Craig, the talking box is on. Hi there, Weston. You guys on the on whether if you're on for sure YouTube and on Twitter, use the United Supermarkets text line. It's right there on the screen. 806-772-0197. That's 806-772-0197. Get in tonight. That is how we can see your comments. We use multi-streaming platforms on this program, and it's the easiest way, just like the radio show, to funnel everything into one place. That way we make sure we get your thoughts tonight. All right, get them rolling in. Let's see, Danny Dagger Dan in there, loving the shirt. Thank you very much. Boot City, one money saving mile outside the West Loop. You want to get some great Western wear, you need to head over to Boot City. I can hear you tonight. It was upsetting tonight. Well, I hate to be upsetting. Hopefully I wasn't upsetting. I don't want to be upsetting. I'll let a few more folks get in. Hopefully you have your beverage of choice this evening. It's not enough O's and smooth for that one tonight. And we'll get on down the road, shall we? Let's talk about this game and this program and this brand. In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com, where you start your day. Everything we do, archived there, waiting for you. Question of the day, Raiderland hot links every morning, cool stuff. You need to check it out. Tomorrow morning, 5 things we know on a Sunday will be waiting for you. Right now, this is Raiderland Rewind, where we recap Texas Tech and BYU. 27-14, the final. Texas Tech now 3-5, struggling mightily without Baron Morton at quarterback. We speculated as the week went on, what would it look like if he couldn't go? We felt pretty confident by Thursday that he would be incapacitated to the point of probably not playing. Didn't suit out tonight. And you get what you get with this Texas Tech offense without Baron Morton in your third string quarterback. So tonight, we'll ask you a couple of different questions. Your general thoughts on the game, and it was not a good game. It is egregious that I've shut the door on Finch. And Alan Corbin, our Raiderland correspondent from the wilds of Utah in previous years, now back in the great state of Texas. What's the brand? What is the brand? Let's just go big picture tonight. Let's talk. Joey McGuire is a slogan guy. He's a T-shirt guy. He's a motivational guy. He's all those things. And a lot of times those things come back and they bite you in the ass when you're not winning. So I ask you tonight, what is the brand? Because to me, the brand right now is very fragile, or as the French might say, fragile. Incredibly fragile. This team, this program right now, turtles up against adversity. They don't handle it very well. So what is the brand? We'll ask you that question tonight. Off the United Supermarkets text line, does Cody let Smile and Joey come back next year after going 3-9? Yeah, he probably will. I don't think anybody is in danger of losing their job other than maybe one offensive coordinator and some other offensive coaches. The defense, good enough. But the defense, still not good enough to get you some turnovers and do what you need to do, but still the defense pretty much good enough. Now, let's also get a few things cleared up. BYU is not a good football team. BYU was poorly coached tonight. BYU could have won this game 7 different ways to Sunday or Saturday, and they kind of refused delivery. Their coaching decisions were poor. So we'll have none of the, well, BYU's not very good. So everything we talk about tonight is against the backdrop of, again, it occurs against a substandard team. And Jake Strong is only one guy. You've still got a whole bunch of other guys on offense. And I've seen a lot of freshmen come in and play well and play good. Freshmen everywhere, well, I shouldn't say everywhere, but it is not uncommon for freshmen to play well enough to lead their team to a victory if they have enough around them. Obviously, there's not enough around him right now to overcome it. Off the United Supermarkets text line, the brand sucks. Well, it did tonight. Everything runs through Provo. Also off the text line. He's a high school football coach. That's his identity. Talking about Joey McGuire. You know, fair otherwise, this was going to be the criticism when you lay out hiring, and he had, 4 years of experience at the college level as an assistant. But this is what you were going to face if the hard times came. I'll say this, though. Man, he could have run for mayor in August, and we're not into November, and I haven't seen a fan base turn like this since Billy Gillespie. Another one on the United Supermarkets text line. At a minimum, we need to upgrade offensive coordinator. We deserve better than this, says the texter. Let's see. I got to go back and scroll up here. Get some. Joey McGuire looks like Joe Biden on the sidelines. Oh, man. Ow. Golly. Didn't see that. I can't do a Tom Shalol. He's the best. We lost to a bad team. We made them look good. What was it Mike Leach said? You're either allowing it or coaching it. I got to hit see more. So which is it? Good question. Kitley stinks, period. Our brand is not close to a Dollar General. Hey, man, nobody makes fun of Dollar General around me. That place is great. We're proud to have one in my hometown, and it's a game changer. So ain't nobody going to say nothing bad about no Dollar General. You got me on that? Dollar General rocks. You guys on Twitter and on YouTube, use the United Supermarkets text line. It's right there on the screen for you. 806-772-0197. What's the brand? What is the brand right now for Texas Tech? What is it? What is the identity? We've talked about the identity of the offense. Let's talk about the identity of the program right now. What is it? I say fragile. Now, are you down to your third string quarterback? Yeah. But you know what? Everybody on the team has scholarships. Everybody on the team is on the team. I'm not going to lay all this at the feet of Strong. Now, granted, he's not playing well. He's not playing well. We're close to seeing Kitley being relieved of his duties. I don't think you'll see a change in midseason. You're not going to see it on a coordinator level. I don't think so. He's a hell of a recruiter. That's all I have to say about that, says Michelle. The recruiting's been good by all estimations. Common denominator for Tech this year is that they seem to lose to teams that aren't good teams. Maybe Tech isn't a good team. No, they're not. This is not a good football team. This is not a good football team. They're not playing good football. They're not doing things that good football teams do. All of those things. No depth, no energy, says Andy. Andy guaranteed to win. What happened, Andy? The brand, all hat, no cattle. Used car football. Hi, Ronnie. Glad you're watching. What's with the bad snaps? I don't know. But Stats has been substandard at center on that. And for all the talk about the offensive line being better, and they've been a better run block line than they have been pass block for the most part. Tonight, they weren't a very good run block line. Again, this is not a good BYU team. You had 153 rushing yards. They've, gained up on Brooks. He got his 3.4 yards per carry. That's 31 carries for 105 hard-earned yards. Your average yards per play was 4.9, even with them, but that was they started compromising theirs as the game went on. Yeah, not a good football team. Hard to be effective when every drop back is at risk of being an interception. Strong just isn't a Big 12 quarterback yet. He may not ever be a Big 12 quarterback. I don't know. It's kind of hard to get a read on it. I hate to see make value judgments on true freshmen, but again, I've seen true freshmen come in and look better. Is he being put in a situation to be successful? I don't know, but he sure looks panicked. And let's say once again, this is a guy who's had the majority of snaps in practice for almost a month. Let's go back before the Houston game, after West Virginia, when Morton was hurt initially. Since that time, the majority of snaps in practice and the majority of throws have gone to Strong. It's not that he was just thrown in willy-nilly. That's just not the case. Richard is watching. Derek is watching. After 8 games, we're not a higher football IQ than game 1. I agree with that. A lot of talking during the offseason. Check won't cash. No, and that was all. That wasn't the media people. That was Texas Tech internally putting all that out there. That was Joey McGuire. That was the Tech media team. That was all the hype videos. That wasn't us. That wasn't us. That was them. Yeah, we should have run a Wildcat formation. Wildcat gimmick, can't do it. If you got to run a Wildcat, you can't run a Wildcat. You're not going to win. Off the United Supermarkets text line, texter says, saw this on Twitter. Gash for 65 yards, first play of the game. Team averaging 2.5 yards per carry. Yep, allowed a defensive TD. Lost the turnover battle by 5. I said there would be 6 combined turnovers. I was close. Committed twice as many penalties. By the way, the penalties were egregious. More penalties. Used timeout right after a kickoff to avoid a delay game. Player ejected for spitting at someone. By the way, if he did that, a minimum of 1 game additional suspension. There are a lot of people trying to claim he didn't do it. I don't know of a lot of situations I've seen over the years where officials just threw somebody out because another player said, hey, he did something to me. If he didn't do it, I hope he didn't do it. Great. If he did do it and they know he did it, he needs to be suspended for at least 1 more game. The brand is a piece of tape on a hat bill, says one. We ask what the brand is. Low snaps. Yeah. All about creating content. The downside is where content fails on the field. Yeah. They've got all these people. They got to justify paying them. They got to create content in the offseason, and that's what you do. I wonder if the Big 12 commissioner still thinks Tech will beat UT. He's hoping so. Never seen a team regress this much over the season. No, and it's not just at quarterback. Tua, Trevor Lawrence, freshman, all played like vets. Yeah, freshmen can play good. The brand is bad football. We asked what the brand is. The low point for me, there were 2 low points. And like anyone cares what the low point for me was. But watching in the second half, okay, first off, nonsensical stuff. I mean, let's just go beyond you couldn't block and tackle well against a bad team and you were getting beat, all that stuff. All right. Defense, Andy, the defense made a bad team look good. I'm not going to give the defense any credit tonight. They played okay, but they weren't great. Give me the work their tails off garbage. I don't need that crap. They didn't. They can work their tails off. I guess everybody should, right? They weren't that good. BYU's bad. Cosmo the Cougar is an awesome mascot off the United Supermarkets text line. Yes, mascot superiority tonight. Very good. Texter, brand generic. It's a stupid name. Your brand is Red Raiders or Matadors. There you go. We can get to that as we go through. Allen, this team sucks and is poorly coached. Well, it kind of cuts to it. So as everything is going on, there in the second half, and they run the fake punt. And they barely get it on the fake punt. And I'm sitting there thinking, and you might have seen this on Twitter, I'm like, Yeah, glad that they were able to show everybody what the fake punt looks like. So now when we have to run it in an actual high leverage situation, they know it. And I'm like, and I said, I can't even believe I'm typing this with a straight face. What's the high leverage situation going to be when you want to run that? Then, so after you do that and you run it, you know, then you come back later. And again, we've got this mishmash lineup on a punt. We can't line up. You have guys literally on the punt team running into each other, knocking each other down like Keystone Cops, and you get a false start because you can't line up to punt. And that's what I'm just going. You guys, I've been around a while. I mean, 80s. Lived through Jerry Moore. I've seen some football over the years, and just watching what we're seeing right now. What's the brand? I need Tech to win to save my marriage. He'll be fine. Danny's going to be fine. 3-9 is the most likely outcome because this team can't beat anyone equally as talented as they are. If you work your tails off, then you can at least be disciplined at non-discipline penalties. Yeah, we had a lot of penalties, too many. UT is going to kill us. That's quite possible. Did I miss anything up there? Ryan, are you seeing the same regression this year we saw with Wells in the second and third years? It's a different type of regression. It's a different thing. I sound disgusting. Yeah, I thought it was pretty disgusting display of football, quite honestly. And again, I look at things maybe a little differently than just raw stats or anything. It's not always what you do, it's how you do it. Worst team since Jerry's kids? Nah, this team's probably better than a couple of a couple of bad spike teams. This team might be better than that, maybe. The Cliff and Wells teams, yeah, it's probably better than that. You know, Coach Hyatt would throw papers here and walk away. Yeah. But I still am going to give Joey McGuire enough credit to believe in his assessment of this team to say that this team should be performing better than it is. That I believe that he is a good enough coach that this team is substandard in its performance up to the talent level, even though it doesn't have enough depth, it doesn't have enough talent overall, but it still should be better than this, and it still shouldn't be impacted this much by playing a third string quarterback. A lot of the problems, and again, I know he threw the interceptions. Still, a lot of the problems don't have anything to do with his performance. Glad we gave Joey an extension after year one. We've never done that. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, that's almost what everybody does now. You're always going to have the extensions on the coaches. Is the problem more players or coaches? Yes. Yes, it is. All of the above. Hey, Cliff had the Big 12 Freshman of the Year in Baker Mayfield. I remember that guy. Whatever happened to him? Embarrassed 2 weeks in a row with bad coaching and no player confidence. Yeah. Did Joey exhibit the brand tonight? His dauber was down, was it? I don't know. I think you obviously saw a frustrated coach. He's dealing with some stuff he's never had to deal with. He's dealing with some stuff he's never had to deal with, certainly as a college coach. We'll find out how it goes. Off the United Supermarkets text line, the brand is demoralized and drunk and soon to be suffering from cirrhosis of the liver if this doesn't turn around somehow. Hang in there. Flavored water. It's always good. Okay, now here's one. Tech receivers look lazy. No, I'm going to bail them out on this one off the text line. They're not lazy. They're just not very good. Okay? They're just not that good is the bottom line. And we've been saying this for a couple of years. There has been regression, I believe, in the recruiting and in the receiving room on just the talented receivers that you're bringing in. I just don't think they're good. They're not horrible. They're good people. I'm sure they bring homeless people blankets in the winter. It's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about them as people, but just as a receiving group, They don't run routes well. They don't get separation. I don't see game changers. I don't see guys making incredible grabs. And I hadn't seen it. I hadn't seen it for the last couple of years. It's not anything new. The Tech receiving room has just not been good for a while. But again, people get bought into this myth that just because it's Tech, well, they got to be great receivers there at Tech. Got to be great quarterbacks there at Tech. They got to be. No, that's not the way it works. And it hasn't for a while. Let's see. Need a legitimate special teams coach and not your buddy that is also the running backs coach, associate head coach. Keystone Cops playing lack of kicking game, going back to Wyoming and Oregon cost us games. I've seen teams have legitimate special teams coaches that all they do and they suck, and good ones and bad ones, and it has nothing to do with the fact that it's also a running backs coach. In fact, I want my special teams coach to coach other positions. I'm kind of adamant about that. I want him to be a complete coach, and we can do special teams with a coach who's doing other things. We can't. All right, I know we're missing some comments here as we're going through. One of the few Tech playmakers now quarterbacks Houston. Yeah, he made some plays last year, helped you out a little bit. Not easy as Cedar Hill days for Joey. No. Welcome to the Big 12. Feel bad for the Tech fans of the game tonight. Can't drown their sorrows since Provo closed down 10 minutes ago. 10 minutes ago, their time or our time? Jeez. Problems are all connected. Defense, special teams aren't as focused when offense has no chance, says Ryan. If this team keeps losing, will you see recruits decommit? You might. But I'll tell you this, what I've seen over the years with recruiting, it really has very little to do with the current on-field product. As weird as that sounds, that I see guys go to bad teams, good teams, and otherwise you get them or you don't. So the idea that, if this team keeps losing, that may actually have some of them going, I want to go there because I can start day one, which is what the coaches would be telling them. Look at this mess. You can come in and start day one. So, yeah. Correct. Vasher could catch a spectacular pass, drop simple one. Yeah, he was an incomplete one-trick pony. I don't see another win this season, regardless of Morton coming back. If Morton comes back, I think it would look different, but he's got to come back healthy. David, by the way, here's a pro tip. If you ever host your own post-game show or own shows and got your own website called theraiderland.com and do all that sort of cool stuff and got your own branded mugs, write your own columns and everything. When you wear really cool shirts from Boot City, the comments that you see on the screen bleed in, and it's really hard to read them sometimes. All right, so let me see if I can do this. Preciseness required by wide receivers, precise routes, precise hard work catches, precise on block, preciseness. Yes. Provo closes at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. sharp. Tech wide receivers are not precise, he said. I think Joey couldn't convince Kitley to pass on winning. I think Joey couldn't. I'm not quite sure what that means. Cash those NIL checks. Yeah, get them in. Love the NIL. Need to get Boot City to sponsor your look. I do. They're my sponsor. Boot City. One money saving mile outside the West Loop, looking for all your great Western wear apparel. That's where you'll find shirts like this. Cody Woods got you taken care of out there, and they've got a new fresh line of winter jackets and coats that are waiting for you. You need to check it out there at Boot City. Is it common to play 8 straight weeks without a bye week? Yeah, not uncommon off the text line. Flavored water is good. Mine is rum flavored, says one of the texters. And then Joey had more talent at Cedar Hill teams than he does here. That's not true. Ended up playing the next level after that. No, there's plenty of talent here. What would Mike Leach say? It would be short and very not provocative, but it would be pretty short. It kind of like one of the Mike. Actually, this game was like a Mike Leach Colorado game or a Mike Leach early days Oklahoma State game. It's kind of what this reminded you of. One of the scary things tonight would be if Texas Tech isn't more talented than BYU, and if Texas Tech isn't better than BYU, you've got something. Oh man, I was wondering if anybody was going to bring it up. Somebody off the United Supermarkets text line with tomorrow. Okay, hey, everybody watching right now, go to your local United and look for the ad specials, particularly in the, do we call it the butcher section anymore? The butcher shop in the meat section. Um, yeah, game changer. Game changer. United meat, Ranchers Reserve, good stuff. Were both fumbles in the first off of RPOs. I don't think they were RPOs. They might have been. Tech doesn't run as Tech really didn't run a whole lot of RPOs, quite frankly. I think it was just bad handoffs and just bad coordination. Jerry Moore would say BYU. It's a good, solid football team. I can't do Jerry's voice anymore. When I was in high school, I could do it. His sons were just right ahead of me, just a little bit, and then I was same grade with Elizabeth, the wonderful Elizabeth Moore, really cool kid, my friend. Yeah, so I can do a pretty mean Jerry Moore impersonation. Uh, so somebody off the text line, the cougar tail with bacon did look good, I guess. I mean, yeah, that TV broadcast team, boy, they were struggling to kill time because there just wasn't a whole lot going on. You know, they're just that second half was just like this slow, painful culmination to what we thought would be true. That Tech wasn't going to mount any sort of real resistance, but that BYU would still try to give it away. And I'll say again, BYU is poorly coached. The decision making by BYU, play calling, BYU's not a very good football team, okay? They're just not. You got beat by a poorly coached team. I don't know what that says, but you did. So we'll ask again tonight here in the Arctic Air Studios. We'll go as long as the conversation is good. What is the brand? Do you just throw this year away and say, well, quarterback got hurt? Quarterbacks got hurt, and that was the end of that. I mean, is that the end of that? Because that's the way this team looks like they're playing. That's the way this program looks like. And that's why I say the brand looks fragile because, yeah, you got a problem at quarterback. Strong is not ready for prime time. And he's had plenty of work in practice the last month. There you go. So that's it, huh? Guess so. Maybe so. Maybe it's that. Is it that simple that we look at 2023 and go, well, the two quarterbacks got hurt, and that was the end of that. Brian Jensen talked about the mountains a lot and the ice cream. Yeah, the man will talk about some mountains and some ice cream. Look at Utah Utes with a backup. Our girlfriends are fatter than your girlfriend. Leave the girlfriends out of it. Come on now. So what happens now? It's that thing. We're worse than the other bad football teams. Yeah. So what happens now? You know, you get a little time off before you get TCU, which what did that thing end up? Is that thing done yet? Hold on. We can start looking around at some other games and everything else. Continue the conversation. Thoughts on this one? Whatever you guys got. What did that thing end up being? TCU and Kansas State, 41-3. Yo. What did let's go to the box score on that one real quick. I want to see what the run game did for them. Avery Johnson, 16 for 73, 23 was the long. 244 yards on the ground. Sonny Dykes got him a quarterback problem as well. I don't know what the over under is going to be for Tech and TCU, but it's quite possibly going to be 20, something like that. Don't see UCF being a sellout at this point. Yeah, I'd be kind of surprised if it was. Tank for the number 1 pick. We're tanking for Caleb Williams. I got to go back up. We started our belly buttons for 2 weeks and played TCU. Eesh, that's weird. David's staring at belly buttons. He saw an upset authored last night in the high school ranks, by the way, as Abernathy just dismantled 9th-ranked Littlefield. What was that? 49-0. Good heavens! 2024 quarterback preservation needs to be top priority. No quarterback run game. Make Barron throw the ball away. That's an interesting debate for another time on the utilization of the quarterback in the run game, which I'm all about having that conversation. Leach has quarterbacks get hurt and then have a kid like Sticks come in. Yeah, and then sometimes not. 48-0. I thought I was close. Unfortunately, we have added better teams than us to the Big 12, putting us in a deeper hole than we were with UT and OU. I'd like to offer a counter argument to that. I really can't. I mean, this is only this. Isn't this only the second time that one of the new teams has won? Houston won, beat West Virginia, and then today. Is this the second one? We got some injured kids coming back and dismantled them. Okay, good for you guys. Yeah, that's cool. Oh. Hold on. I've got multiple screens going on here. So I apologize. It takes me a little bit to go back and look through some stuff. I didn't watch a lick of Texas and Houston today. So I don't Ewers apparently got hurt. Don't know what we've got. Maybe it was a shoulder or an upper body type deal. And then 31-24 on the final. Oklahoma State, West Virginia, 48-34. No one cares. Two coaches that both programs would love to get rid of their coach, and they're stuck with them because West Virginia's won just enough, and all of a sudden Oklahoma State's 5-2. And they both want to get rid of them. Yeah, don't have to play the Okies. And then UCF hung in there and made it interesting. And then I'm telling you, I'm not a Venables guy. I don't think he's that good. I don't think Oklahoma's that good. I don't know how they're 7-0. Truly, I do not. I do not think they're that good. I really don't. But yet, here they are, 7-0. You are what you are, right? Houston put up a fight against the Fighting Horns today. That's another program. They'd love to move on from Dana Holgerson. I bet they will. I won't be surprised if they do. Let's see. I don't even see the Big 12 being that competitive in the playoff hunt with the new SEC and the Big 10. It'll get there. It'll shape up. It'll morph. It'll change. Again, we're going to go to 16 teams in the playoff. It's going to be an NFL style playoff. It's going to look vastly different here in a couple of years. So I'm not really too worried about that. Just get in. You got a chance. Good teams. UCF dang near beat OU in Norman. Like the Cajun in the movie. Waterboy. Oh no, we suck again. Off the United Supermarkets text line. If we can't compete in the new Big 12, it will really hurt our chances of getting. It will really hurt our chance of getting in the new football league in a few years that you've been teasing. We'll be stuck in the NCAA and playing Abilene Christian. We'll have a new double T scoreboard and lots of NIL deals. No, Tech will be in. They need teams. Tech will be in. Tech's fine. Tech's positioned well. When this thing morphs and changes, you're just fine. Don't worry about it. 3-5 this year. Last year 8-5. Fortunate to win 5 close games. Yeah. You won close games last year. You lost some close games early. Now you're not losing close games. They're not close. UCF is going to be all Tech wants in a few weeks. Yeah. I might have to stop bad-mouthing Kansas, probably, at a certain point. Hate that. Oh, well. What you going to do? So we ask, what is the brand? And some people may be wondering, well, Hyatt, answer your own question. I don't know what the brand is anymore. I know that they've got a lot of slogans. I know that they've got a lot of pump jacks and tires and this and that. And it reminds me, does anybody remember a Texas Tech assistant coach who was a special teams coach by the name of Manny Matsakis? going back about 23 some odd years ago. And Manny Matsakis was all into the new style of football and this and that and everything else. And I used the term one time, and I got a little blow by it. I found out they didn't like it when I said it. I said, we need less rock and more block, because they were playing all this rock music and everything. Maybe, just maybe, just maybe, we need to get back to the basics of love, and that this program needs to shut the hell up and get rid of all the crap and get rid of all the videos. Now, I know there's a lot of people that are making a living off that, and it has nothing to do with you guys. It's not to do with you guys. You guys do a good job. But just shut the hell up and get to basics. And quit talking about being the hardest working program. And quit talking about being the most competitive program. And quit talking about this. And just shut the hell up and get better. And get rid of all the crap. Get rid of all of it. My son's coach a couple of weeks ago, they didn't play very well. And he took away, this is high school, he took away their drip, baby. Took away their drip. And they came back and they played a little bit better. Pat Summit at Tennessee, she took the locker room away one time. No, actually, numerous times. They couldn't dress in the locker room. They literally, all their gear was thrown out of the locker room into the hallway there at Thompson Bowling, and that's what they did. Maybe this team just, maybe this program, maybe this brand needs a little bit of a rebranding. But then again, it's 2023, and it's all about the sizzle. And it's all about the salesmanship, and it's all about this and that. And it's all about fancy locker rooms, and it's all about light shows, and it's all about whatever. So I'm probably horribly out of touch and am entirely the wrong person to try to diagnose anything that goes on with anything. You know? Well, no, that was just stupid, Randy, when they didn't take the jackets up there. That was just stupid on Cliff's part. That wasn't being tough. That was dumb. Cliff did dumb things. He was not ready to be a head coach at the college level. And he wasn't ready to be a head coach at the NFL level. But he's a hell of a guy. So maybe I'm the absolute wrong person to begin to diagnose a few things. But I do know enough to know that sometimes you just need to shut the hell up and do your job. I don't know that that's going on right now. Could put Nick on the back of all the jerseys. So we'll see what happens from here. Ole Miss mailed it in last year during the bowl game, says one texter, talking about the bowl win. Maybe, maybe not. I don't care. Tech showed up and played. You win. You get credit for the win, you know? Somebody said amen, and I have no idea what they're saying amen to. All right, your thoughts, fire away. Last chance to get in. Tell us what you're thinking tonight. I have not broken down this game. I've got, you know, all the notes, all the legal pad, everything. It's pointless. It's pointless to go over all that stuff. We know what we're doing here. All right? So your last chance, get your thoughts in. What is the brand? What happens from here? Where are you as a fan? Where are you not as a fan? What's for dinner tomorrow? What's for lunch tomorrow? What are we going to watch? We got to wait till the 3 o'clock game for the Chiefs. We will have 5 things we know in a Sunday column for you tomorrow. Might sneak in a little. And David figured this out, by the way. When we do the YouTube-only Sunday nightcap show, you can talk directly on the YouTube deal. He figured this out. Text line, will Joey get a few for sale signs at his house tonight? I hope not. I'm certainly not ready to move on from Joey McGuire. Not that anybody cares, but I'm not advocating that at all. Not whatsoever. The brand is a tire. comes out flat each game. That's the problem when you start carrying it around. Andy is always a fan. He's a supporter. Remember, if you can't be an athlete, be an athletic supporter. You know? I've always said that. Texter, the brand is being proud of the effort regardless of the result. I'd like to think the effort has been there. Hope so. How well did we make their run game look? A lot better than it has been. At one point, they were averaging about 6.9 yards per carry. That dropped down as the night went on. And in this game, I wouldn't look at any stat after the third quarter. So if you want to go back and do a stat breakdown, nothing else really mattered after the third quarter. My comment will be held in private, says Andy. Matt Wells recruits are juniors and seniors. Joey redshirting everyone he can and betting on his time to get the future. Yeah, and he's got the future. He's got it. No problem on that. Time to go to the 24-hour pit grill. Sign me up, man. Problem is the result is all that matters. Yeah. We live in a result-oriented world, and that's as it should be. It would be great. We would be great if we were in Utah State's conference. I didn't put on a nice shirt just to hear that. Yeah, well. It could be worse. It really could. There could be no hope. And I think that's what's so frustrating is that you do have hope that this team's better than this. And I believe they are. Really? Utah just beat USC? Golly. I mean, Lincoln Riley's got to get out of there. He needs to follow Caleb Williams to the NFL. And so he gets that for having Grinch as his DC, who's the only one dumb enough to want to coach on a high-level team that still runs that type of offense that's going to get you beat. Lincoln Riley. He used to be from West Texas. Speaking of the nice shirt, you preaching someplace in the morning? What do you mean? It's just like a normal shirt. There's nothing crazy. Not like anything weird. I would be honored to be in the pulpit anywhere that anybody wants me to be in the pulpit. I'd be happy to do that. During the summer, you would have thought we were Georgia if you listened to Joey. A lot of times I'd read that comment off the United Supermarket text line and give it a little pushback. No, it was all internal. All the promotion, all the hype, everything. It was 100% internal Texas Tech. They've got to own it. They got to wear it. It wasn't the media. It wasn't David Collier. It wasn't John Harris. It wasn't Brian Jensen. It wasn't Don Williams. It was 100% internal. They got to wear that. And Cliff jinx USC now. No, I don't think he's jinxing it. It's Grinch, man. USC going to have buyer's remorse pretty quickly. I really think they will move. Here, bold prediction. Lincoln Riley never coaches a game in the Big Ten. There you go. Bold prediction. He will fail up, much like his friend Cliff Kingsbury has managed to fail up. Cliff will probably end up being the Chargers' next head coach. That's just the way the NFL goes. No, I don't think that's really going to happen. All right, let's see. We are going to shut her down here in just a second. And again, and I'm seeing some comments. I can go back and look at some different stuff, and some people will comment, and it shows up. It's probably coming off YouTube, maybe. I'm guessing on the YouTube channel. And guys, I don't get to see those until we flip back over. That's why I say everybody use the United Supermarkets text line 806-772-0197. I apologize, Larry, Dan, un compadre, everything else. So I apologize, but you gotta follow the protocol, baby. Use the text line. That's why it's there. That's why United's there. So yeah, we'll have our column up in the morning. We'll probably have a little Sunday nightcap if you guys want to jump in. Again, that'll be YouTube only. Why? Just because. It's just something to do for everybody who subscribes to YouTube and helps drive the numbers on that. It's kind of fun to do something different. So it'll just be YouTube only. I'll wear a hat. It'll be cool. But we have to end first the broadcast on YouTube and on Twitter. It asked me on my streaming platform, end stream? Yes. And then they asked me again, end the stream? Not yet, or end stream? Yes. So we're going to end it. Here we go.